How would you define perception? And what are the different levels or classifications of perception that you believe are important to understand? Perception is more than just a perspective or opinion. It's like a shifting lens through which we view reality. Think of it as a journey where information passes through the unconscious mind, the heart, the mind, and finally the eyes, shaping how we see the world. The clearer our belief system, the more intricate and multidimensional our perception becomes, much like a crystal reflecting light in different ways. When our beliefs are clouded by fear, our perception becomes muddied, similar to looking through a foggy window. But when our beliefs are rooted in positivity and love, our perception becomes clear and sharp, allowing us to see things in a new light. As we surrender to the flow of life and follow our true passions, our perception naturally becomes clearer. This happens because we're consistently making choices that align with love and joy, which purify our view. Negative emotions are like signals that our perception is getting clouded. When we feel these emotions, it means our heart is closing off. A clear, crystalline perception is one of unconditional love and acceptance, helping us understand when and why our hearts open or close to love. You mentioned that surrendering to the flow of life and following our true passions helps to purify our perception. Can you share some personal experiences or practices that have helped you achieve this state of flow and clarity in your own life? Undergoing healing has profoundly impacted my ability to discern whether my perception aligns with the choices I feel nudged to make. Listening to my intuition has been key. I've come to recognize when certain thoughts, feelings, and emotions stem from the negative ego. By observing my body and its responses, I've learned that sometimes the best course of action is to simply allow things to unfold naturally. This practice helps me see where the flow of energy from the Creator is guiding me, rather than resisting and insisting that I know better. The more I surrendered to these energies, the clearer my understanding became day by day. Self-reflection played a crucial role in this process, enabling me to assess my daily choices and their consequences. This built a foundation of self-trust as I realized that healing involves experiencing similar situations, observing them, and making new choices. Through this, my higher self could see that I had gained the necessary understanding to move forward. This journey also helped me release the need for control. I learned to let go of expectations about outcomes, understanding that the physical mind only perceives what's immediately in front of it and doesn't always know what's best. In contrast, the higher self knows precisely what needs to happen for our growth. Thus, we find ourselves in situations that teach us what we need to know to progress, even if they aren't what we want at the moment. Understanding this dynamic naturally diminishes the need for control and insistence. I set the intention to view everything through the lenses of unconditional love and acceptance. Doing so at the start of each day helps me remain aware of my interactions with myself and others. It's like checking in with myself before responding to any situation. The more I practice this, the more I crystallize my heart chakra, allowing the energy of the one infinite creator to balance my other chakras as well. This is a process, but it's incredibly rewarding. You spoke about the significant role of self-reflection in your healing process. Can you describe some specific techniques or methods you use for self-reflection? How do these practices help you gain clarity and understanding in your daily life? I make it a habit to reflect on my choices both before and immediately after I make them. This practice helps me identify the root cause of my choices, understand where the desire is coming from, and assess the purity of my intentions. When choices arise from the ego, I allow them to unfold so I can observe why my unconscious mind nudged me in that direction. This process allows me to see the consequences and learn from them, helping me release the fear of making the initial choice and guiding me to make decisions more aligned with my higher self. Every situation can be turned to your advantage if you pay attention from the beginning, noting where it leads and the quality of your perception. Using your intellect in tandem with your intuition creates a powerful collaboration between the unconscious and conscious mind. Observing each perception and assessing its quality is transformative. This practice trains you to view every circumstance from a place of love, even if something triggers you from the unconscious mind. Triggers are guides that help identify what needs healing within, so you are no longer affected by them. This means digging deeper into your belief system, questioning it until you reach the root cause, and recognizing that it no longer serves you. Once you see this, you can let it go. Self-analysis and self-reflection are core techniques in the healing process. They are the most efficient ways to move forward, bringing you closer to understanding your true self by peeling away the layers of who you are not. How do you balance the collaboration between your intellect and intuition in making choices? And what are some specific strategies you use to ensure they work harmoniously together? What helps me significantly is the understanding that when choices emerge from the place of the ego, it indicates that past decisions need reassessment and change. If I'm unsure why I made those choices initially, choosing to gain clarity becomes essential. As you expand your consciousness and feel compelled to make decisions aligned with the negative ego, recognizing the purpose behind it is crucial. Paying close attention to how the process unfolds is vital, as it allows you to make new choices that override past ones, releasing the associated energy from your body and closing the karmic cycle, enabling you to move forward. You have the option to repeat past choices, but it's important to remember that you don't have to. When you notice patterns repeating, it's time to reflect on why and what choices you made previously that led to similar experiences. This recognition is an opportunity to rewrite your personal history. How do you approach the process of identifying and reflecting on repeating patterns in your life? What techniques or practices do you use to gain clarity and make new choices that align with your higher self? I pay close attention to the choices I make and how their consequences resonate within me. If the outcomes are not what I prefer, I begin to investigate how frequently I make similar choices, the circumstances surrounding them, and whether I've encountered these situations before. Delving deeply into this process of self-reflection has been instrumental in healing and releasing the past, allowing me to make new choices with confidence and courage, knowing that all is well. When I get triggered, it's a clear sign to question my belief system. This helps me identify the origin of the belief and understand how it still serves me. Choices that align with my heart will always stem from a place of unconditional love and acceptance, reflecting the one original thought. When I am sure my intentions are pure, there's no need for doubt. Instead, I surrender and observe, allowing the flow of creation to unfold as it chooses. By doing so, I experience life with greater ease and harmony. Can you elaborate on any specific techniques or practices you use during your self-reflection process to identify the origins of your beliefs and how you determine whether they still serve you? I reflect on both my responses and those of others involved in any interaction. When a response seems questionable or closes off the heart space, I navigate through it by examining what I said or did, how the other person responded, and why. I ask myself what my intentions were, why the other person responded as they did, and why I perceived their response in a particular way. This questioning and attention to detail are paramount, as they allow me to see the bigger picture and adopt a higher perspective. By focusing on understanding my own belief system rather than external factors, I gain deeper insights into my actions and reactions. Can you share an example of a situation where this reflective process led to a significant breakthrough or change in your perspective? How did this change influence your subsequent interactions and choices? In the past, I sought external validation from others because I didn't recognize my own efforts and worth. I lacked a healthy sense of pride in myself, which manifested as a negative ego and a sense of superiority over others. This was my way of trying to prove my own worth. As I progressed on my path, I realized this was not how I wanted to position myself in life. I decided to change my perception of life, myself, and the people around me. As my healing journey deepened, I began to investigate my belief in self-worth. I started manifesting situations where people would seek my validation, something that used to make me feel worthy but now felt strange. This shift prompted me to question what I was projecting into the world that led to these experiences. It became clear that these situations were manifestations of my unconscious beliefs about self-worth, coming to the surface for me to acknowledge and release. By consciously choosing to address these beliefs in such situations, I was able to release the old energy and fill that space with the unconditional love and healing light of the Creator. This process also allowed my DNA to restructure, enabling it to hold more light and transforming my perception and interactions. How did this shift in your perception and self-worth influence your relationships and interactions with others? Can you describe a specific change you noticed in your behavior or in the way others responded to you as a result of this transformation? What changed drastically for me was the way I communicate with others. Now I see it as a form of connecting on a deeper level, having conversations that allow the love and light of the one infinite Creator to flow through me and fill the present moment. This creates a space where others can experience the love of the Infinite One, should they choose to accept that frequency. I find it essential to highlight the possibilities the Creator offers us in our state of being. It comes down to being true to yourself, choosing what you prefer over what you don't, and staying true to that choice. As I became aware of my self-worth and began to see myself through the lens of unconditional love and acceptance, new understandings and interactions emerged. I started attracting people who were also seeking inner peace, harmony, and unity. Some might not consciously realize they are searching for this, but they are drawn to the higher frequency for a reason. My responsibility is to listen and support, and for those interested in exploring the kingdom of the one infinite Creator, I provide guidance based on my experiences. This guidance helps them release what no longer serves them, raise their vibration, and continually elevate it as lower frequencies are cleared from their physical and energetic bodies. This allows more light to be integrated into their DNA, expanding their electromagnetic field and consciousness. A specific change I noticed in myself is the way I serve others. I realized that listening is more important than just sharing information. This approach helps determine if the information is even needed. Not everyone is ready or willing to change their lives, so assessing the situation before offering any service or information is crucial. As you listen, you become more attuned to what the person is truly asking for, whether it's just holding space, giving advice, or something else. Recognizing that everyone has different needs has profoundly changed my perception of offering service. It's appropriate to ask questions to understand what is needed and what you can genuinely offer, ensuring there are no assumptions. You can only offer what you have, and it's vital to understand that you are here to serve as you are, not to meet anyone's expectations or demands. If you can't be yourself, will the service be provided with joy? If the answer is no, it might be an opportunity to reflect on whether it's appropriate to provide that service. How do you ensure you remain true to yourself while serving others, especially in situations where expectations or demands might challenge your authenticity? Can you share any strategies or practices that help you stay grounded and aligned with your true self? I remain true to myself by maintaining my preferred state of being. One effective way to achieve this is by responding only when necessary. Not every situation requires a response, and preserving inner peace regardless of external circumstances is one of the most powerful practices you can adopt. By observing your emotions and only accepting those that resonate with your signature vibration, you can consciously be yourself. It's essential to recognize the frequencies you accept from your external environment, as the emotions you attach to your words and actions will determine your state of being and the energy drawn into your body. As you expand your consciousness, it becomes easier to recognize the types of energies you encounter and their origins. This awareness helps you make informed decisions on the go, staying grounded and aligned with your true self.